like you've really got three edges kind of rotating in with the ones, Brennan, Ron, and Willie. What have you seen from that trio?
They've really matured. I think both on and off the field, and credit to those kids. Anytime you install things, and we're very consistent in what we do, and, this is the third time going through the defense now. It's not just about what they do, but I think they understand the why behind it. They're able to look at kind of maybe what across, on the other side of the line of scrimmage to see tendencies, things like that. They're certainly learn to be more detailed in how they prepare for things, if that makes sense. And really, they did a fantastic job this summer getting our young guys ready. This is the best group of freshmen that I've been around at the edge position, and I think a lot goes into, A, the type of young kids that they are, but B, what our older guys, RJ, BJ, and Willie, what they did with those guys this summer.
You mentioned the young guys, and we've really seen Andrew Edson and Ram Stevenson come on the last few days, and then Lawrence Valatea had a really good day today. How have you seen those guys kind of develop through camp, and do you kind of see them maybe playing a role this upcoming season?
Oh, hey, everybody's got a role. Everybody's going to have a role. We got 9 games before our first bye, and we've been talking about that since the schedule came out, that everybody's going to have to be ready to play. The game of football, injuries occur, right? And we saw that last year. Willie goes down, I think, the 7th or 8th play of the season, right? So those young kids have come in. They've really absorbed things. They do a great job of asking questions. They do a good job for young kids of really not repeating mistakes twice again. Obviously, the game's coming at them fast, and I think the playbook's a little bit thicker than they were used to in high school, but really, really appreciated just how they worked, and I think what you're seeing is 3, I think, really good young athletes that are going to really have a chance to do some special things here this year and in the future.
Is there a guy maybe on the edge that you saw take a big jump from spring to fall that kind of all of a sudden really kind of came into his own and has really developed well?
I think physically Moon Ashby, he probably has put on the most weight in the group. He's about 224 now. He played last year at about 200 pounds. And so, he was on the ground just about every play last year. Now he's able to use his hands. He's able to be more aggressive in the run and become a much more effective pass rusher. Quinn Roth's up to about 240. He was in the low 220s last year. So, again, they're all stronger. They're bigger. They're more aggressive. Those guys I've seen make the biggest jumps. I think you'll see a different guy in RJ Stone this year, too. He's much more comfortable. RJ's got a really, really high football IQ. Obviously the lineage with his dad certainly helps, and he was coached really well in high school, and so I've seen some growth out of a lot of guys, which is really good to see, and it's making my job hard right now. I can't tell you who the 6 or 7 guys that are going to play, hopefully maybe even 8 against Utah State.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, no problem.
Do you have an ideal number of players you want to rotate at those 2?
Oh, man, the more the better. If I could get to 7 or 8, that'd be awesome. You know what I mean? In certain situations, the nice part is, you got different body styles that can do different things in certain situations. So the more we can have ready, the more competitive the group stays, and the more when an injury does occur, we can withstand it and keep helping the team win.
When you have 3 older guys like Ron and Brennan and Willie who can maybe pull some of the younger guys aside and teach them lessons, does it make your job easier that you don't necessarily have to teach every lesson out there, that you have 3 captains?
100%. That's my whole goal. And I tell those guys, as a matter of fact, I was talking to the freshmen last night, like, hey, this time next year, you guys are going to be pulling a freshman aside saying, hey, this is what we do here. This is the standard here. So that's my whole goal, not just from a football perspective. I'm trying to develop leaders of men, if that makes sense. And it helps when you got good young men or good men in those older guys' case to do that. And RJ and BJ and Willie, in their own personalities, have really taken that on and really owned it. They ran every meeting this summer. I wasn't involved with one meeting. They ran every meeting and did a great job with it. And one of the things I always go through with those guys is if you can teach something, you have to have a better understanding if you're just doing it, if that makes sense. So I think it's really helped our leadership and has really raised the standard within the group.
Did you guys have more of a chance to install more of your defense in the spring, having a spring camp and having more of a fall camp to put in more packages and have maybe a wider set of options as far as what you're going to throw at teams this fall?
I'd say so. Definitely. You're able to get everything you'd like in, and I think even more importantly, now you're able to go through the fundamentals of each, because on defense, you see so many different things with the different styles of offenses and shifts, formations, personnel groupings, so you're able to get into the why behind things and really develop a baseline. That way, if you see something unique, the kids can go back to their base foundation. So that's been a big part this spring, and this fall is now getting into layer 2, layer 3, and really feel like you got enough bullets in your gun from a call standpoint, but also from a foundational knowledge standpoint, because it doesn't matter what I or any of the coaches know, it's only what our kids know and what they can do on the field.
How would you assess today? It seemed like in 11 on 11, the front 7 had pretty good performance.
Yeah, there's always some good, some bad. I know Coach told me a while ago, never make a judgment till you watch the tape. I saw some good things you mentioned. I saw Lawrence show up a couple times today, which was really good, especially when you get into some of our pass rush scenarios. So we just got to stay consistent and keep stacking things on. We had a little bit of a down day yesterday coming off the scrimmage, and I thought we rebounded and responded well today. But again, we got to learn from what we did today, and we got to keep it moving forward because game time's coming quick.